Hello everyone. Thanks so much for being here. I'm really bummed I'm not able to be there with you tonight. Back to school night's one of my favorite nights where I get to meet you all, parents, and see the kids excited showing their parents around. So it's really unfortunate that I can't be with you, but I still wanted to take the opportunity to tell you a little bit about myself and about what you can expect from me in the Avid class this year. First off, my name is Mrs. Clifford. I recently did get married, so maybe you've heard my name Miss Sabaya around. A lot of the students still know me as Miss Sabaya. I've been teaching here for a little bit, so they've gotten pretty comfortable with it. But we're all learning my new name, Mrs. Clifford. A little bit about myself. I grew up in Yorba Linda. I got married in March 2022. You'll see in the picture up there that is my very handsome now husband and myself, of course, at our wedding. I've been teaching for 9 years. I really love math. If I could do anything with my life, it would be math all the time. I'm also in school right now at Hope International taking classes for my administrative credential. I spend a lot of time in the gym. I love snowboarding, spend a ton of time with my 2 little puppies, and my husband and I are currently moving. It's been a lot of work, but super exciting. So I think it's important for you to know just a little bit about me because I am spending so much time with your students, and especially in the Avid class, it's especially important to me to have solid relationships between students, myself, and the parents. I'd like to start the informative part of our back to school night with a tour of Google Classroom so you can find some resources that will help you best support your students at home. This is our Google Classroom homepage. If you scroll down, you'll see the main stream. Anything I post will pop up here, but oftentimes things get moved down as I post new material. The screen that's most important is at the top under Classwork. If you click here, you're going to see a lot of really important resources. This Get to Know You form was the first assignment that I had students do. It was a chance for them to tell me a little bit about themselves and about what they're excited about for this year and maybe some things they're nervous about. The class calendar will be updated fairly frequently, and that will give you a way to see what's due, what's coming up, and what you should expect in the class. One of our first assignments, in addition to the Get to Know You form, was setting goals. Something I'll talk about as we go on today is that setting goals and pursuing those goals is going to be one of the main things that we focus on this year. Some other resources that you can find below, the syllabus, which hopefully you've all seen because students were responsible for bringing that to you to get that signed. And then same thing with the Avid student contract. This is something that you should have seen already as well because I think all students have had it signed and returned to me, which means parents have seen it. Tutorial resources, if you're interested in knowing a little bit more about the tutorial process or supporting your students in the tutorial process, you can find some resources here and focus notes as well. Other resources pertaining to college and just Esperanza as a whole, you can find at the bottom of that page. As we move on, we are going to be doing some projects. We're going to do a college project in the spring and a career project in the spring as well. So some fun things that we're going to do to really get into understanding student strengths and what they want to do with their futures. So that was our Google Classroom tour. Avid 10. Our goal in this class, my goal in this class, is to support students to both personal and academic success. I think both of these things are important in preparing students for college. How I'm going to do that is through tutorials, of course. Tutorials, if you're new to the Avid program, are groups of about 7 students to 1 tutor, where students get a chance to ask questions that they've been struggling with throughout that week. It's their job to go through and practice the content on their own and really try and understand it and dissect it independently before bringing it into the tutorial. This allows them to engage with the content and master it much more efficiently. We do a lot of study skills. We work on organization. We keep a binder with specific requirements of tabs and loose papers and things like that. We also have requirements for note taking, so students will be responsible for taking notes in their classes, and I will check those with them every 2 weeks. We will set goals, we'll have study groups, We'll do grade checks every week, and I will work to keep them accountable. So tutorials, a little bit more about what they are if you're not familiar. Tutorials happen twice a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays. They are core to the Avid practices. They're essentially student study groups or tutoring sessions where we bring in a college tutor, generally from Cal State Fullerton or a local college, to come in and participate in the student tutorials and lead them through answering and solving their questions. They're really great opportunities for students to think critically and learn how to problem solve on their own. Some of the things that we will focus on this year: academic vocabulary, I think, is extremely important for our students in regards to both personal and academic success. So we are going to be focusing on academic vocabulary throughout the year. I've already mentioned goal setting. We're going to set goals every week, and we're going to focus on planning a way to achieve those goals. We'll do very frequent team building. I think it's important, especially in the Avid class, for the students to be comfortable and have a sense of unity and family in the class. So we're going to do quite a bit of team building. And then, of course, we're going to focus on academic achievement. I'm going to promote this with our binder checks and our note checks, our team building, our goal setting, our tutorials, and other things that we'll do in class. The syllabus, if you have not already, maybe it was another adult at home that signed the syllabus and you didn't get a chance to see it, please log into the Google Classroom and you can review all of the expectations for the Avid class there on the syllabus. You'll see information about the following: the tutorials, the binder checks, classwork, projects, community service, and activities. All of these things are really important for success in the Avid class and just at Esperanza in general. So if you haven't reviewed it already, please log into the Google Classroom from your student's account and check out that syllabus. And that's all I have for you today. I think we're probably ending a few minutes early, but thank you so much for being here. If you need anything, please email me. That's the best way to get a hold of me. Something that you're going to want to be careful of is that my email address is still under my maiden name. So down here at the bottom of this screen, you can see my email is dsabaya@pylusd.org, although I do go by Mrs. Clifford now. So if you need anything, send me an email. I'm looking forward to an awesome year together. Thanks again for being here. Have a good night.